Okay, here we go. Another light review. And again, thank you to the folks at WeLight for sending this one through. These are the WeLight SO5s. I don't want to waste your time with the full disclosures again. I'll link my 2 other WeLight videos if you want those disclosures. But in short, I'll keep this review unbiased despite the products having been sent to me free of charge. And the links below are affiliate links, so you can feel free to use those. You can use my discount code below, but that's all an affiliate link. So I'm shooting from this small area today because it's the darkest area in my flat right now, and I wanted to shoot this using only my SO5s, of which 2 were sent. I have one set to 5500 Kelvin under this umbrella diffuser, or behind this umbrella diffuser, and I have the other one behind me, which I've tried to kind of double up as a room and a background light in this tiny small space. You know what, I feel that most of you know what an RGB pocket light is. You have a feel for what they can be used for, how they work, and I'm assuming that you are here to hear my opinion on whether I recommend this above other similar products out there. So on the most part, I do. These lights are lightweight. They can be controlled with buttons on the device itself. Why am I holding this? On the button itself and by a pretty decent app. And as with the SO3 review, I only checked out its price after having explored it, and I was again pleasantly surprised. These lights are selling for around £40. Alright, I need to stop this video right here. When I was putting together the ideas for this video, I looked at the Amazon price for this product, which is going for about £40, and I completely forgot that as per my agreement, I'm supposed to, talk about, or not talk about, but link in the official WeLight store. And I clicked on it to take a look, and this light is under £25. That is just insane. So everything that I'm going to say beyond this point, from a yes, I do recommend this over the other lights that I've tried out, amplify that to a hell yes, definitely yes, wholeheartedly yes. Considering the price point of this light, I have to recommend it. And I don't recommend things strongly on this channel. I'm very careful with what I recommend strongly. I usually just give you my opinion, show you what I can do with the products, and then you can make up your mind from there. But this price point is insane, and I don't even know if it's going to last that long. It's the same price as the WeLight SO3. And at the end of this video, I even say that if you can make do with a less strong light that doesn't have manual control capabilities like those buttons, then you could be just as well off with the SO3. But given the price point, they are virtually the same price. The WeLight SO5 is, for now, my RGB pocket light of choice, and I can confidently recommend this. I've been using this for the past few weeks now, making it significantly more affordable than the Aperture MC RGB pocket light. Is it better though? With the exception of its plastic build, I would say yes. And on the same side of that coin, I might think that the WeLight is less likely to break, if you drop it within a reasonable height, of course. But regardless of preferences over plastic versus metal, or magnet attachment, or pouch inclusions, I would argue that with all of that, the WeLight is a better product relative to, and especially considering its price point, especially if you're a YouTuber looking to up your production quality. Now, before we move on, this won't be a list of specs. You can find those in the link below. But for starters, I cannot directly compare these to the Aperture MCs because I no longer travel with those lights, which I believe is a statement in of itself. Compared to the WeLights, the SO3s and the SO5s, the Apertures carry an additional weight that is unnecessary to my photo and video production workflow, especially for someone like me that travels with just check-in luggage a lot of the time. So for comparisons though, I do have a snapshot of this previous waveform comparison between the WeLight SO3 and the Aperture MC. So to add the WeLight SO5 to this little chart, I took my fully charged SO3 as it was in that chart and applied my ND filter to have the new SO3 waveform match the old one. I can kind of now assume that the Aperture would also match under these exact conditions. Adding the SO5 under these exact conditions, it compares to the SO3 and the Apertures like so, as you can see in this very new, very crudely composed chart. What we can deduce from here is the following. Now, first off, the SO5 shines brighter much brighter than the SO3. As you can see, the SO3 under these controlled conditions with the ND filter and all that has an exposure value that peaks at just under 70%, whereas the SO5, that's peaking at just under 100% exposure value. Now this is anything to go by, assuming that my correction for the second chart is accurate. The SO5 surpasses the Aperture MC, or at the very least matches the MC's exposure value, which here peaks at just above 80%. Now, I know that this is a very crude comparison. It is a shame that I didn't have the apertures here with me. It would have been a great comparison for this video, but that's that, and make of that what you wish, and do take that with a grain of salt. With regard to the app functionality, I have a full, concise, a pretty good rundown of the app in my SO3 review, and what I'll do is I'll insert that at the end of this video. So if you haven't yet seen that, you can check that out. Everything that applies here with regard to the app applies there, vice versa. You can sync your SO5s to the app in conjunction with your other Wii lights, as I demonstrated in the K21 review, so feel free to check that out. I'll link it below. Please excuse my phone. So one main con in comparison to other lights that I have used in the past that I believe other reviewers might bring up is the lack of a magnet at the back, but I myself have never used a magnet function, and if I'm honest, I do get a little nervous packing magnets into my bag that's full of electronics, so I don't travel with my apertures anymore. But I do have one issue with this, and it's such a silly issue that I believe it to be something that could have been avoided entirely. I can't stand this upright. I can't stand it with this landscape position, but what's the point of not being able to stand it like this, upright? I get that there's a 1/4-20 screw port, but sometimes the perfect positioning calls for this upright position, and it's quite a shame if you ask me. Do I recommend this light? Yes. The only physical additions, those things that are really missing, would be the magnet, which I don't feel the need to rave about anyway. A pouch is missing, which in my opinion is an unnecessary add-on. And what could be considered most important, a diffuser. But those silicon diffusers that you get with the Aperture MCs are not as functional as a diffuser as many might think. These domes serve predominantly to convert those little LEDs in the system into one light source. It barely softens the light. I made a full review on this, and I do encourage you to check that out. You'd probably be better off using a flash diffuser or an umbrella like I have going on here, like I've done in previous videos if you want to check that out. If you really want to diffuse and soften that small light source, that silicon dome isn't... That was my food. Where was I? Silicon diffuser. That silicon dome doesn't act in a way that I think many people believe it does. And I guess I'll end off expressing my approval of this light. The battery lasts just over an hour fully charged, and that's when used at 100% power. It's affordable when you consider it's both manually and app run in comparison to other products. If you don't need manual operation and a battery indicator, and if you feel that you can get away with a less bright light, then the Wii Light SO3 is probably better suited for you. But as I've mentioned in my previous videos, there's a time and place for almost everything out there, and there is plenty of time, or there are plenty of scenarios where the Wii Light SO5 would be a perfect light for your photo and video production needs, especially if you travel a lot and need something lightweight, and especially if you're looking for an affordable, high quality light to add mood and ambiance to your scenes. Thanks so much for watching, folks.